All right, beautiful, awesome. So I just want to take the time out to welcome and invite everyone to our virtual value conversations. My name is Danny Lloyd, and I'm the founder and president of Minority Millennials. We are an organization that works, develop, and implement solutions to the social issues that minorities, millennials, and the future generations of America face. Now, we obviously recognize that we're in a crisis right now. There's a number of different social issues impacting their country, the globe. This is not something to take lightly, and just a number of different families and people are being impacted. But we wanted to utilize this session to really focus in on the minority millennial community. Those are that are not only our members, but that fit within our demographic. We're getting a lot of reports that millennials are getting hit hard, especially here in New York. I mean, 50% of those that are getting catching testing positive for COVID-19 are the ages between 18 and 50. So it's a lot younger than what most physicians thought initially. And so we were trying to figure out how can we continue to provide value to our members, to our community, to our demographic, and provide value real time right now. And so we came up with our virtual value conversations. And our first guest is someone that has been not only a partner, but a supporter, a member, and a personal friend of mine. His name is Arvin Abellera. He is a digital marketing expert, and he's going to pretty much give us the landscape and the infrastructure of what opportunities are in this digital era right now, specifically what opportunities are available to our demographic and our community within this coronavirus crisis. Arvin, for the last 2 years, has been telling me every time we talk, at least every 3 months, that I need to get everything with regards to the digital landscape in place for minority millennials. And I know, like many of us, and I'm a millennial, have been procrastinating on our digital landscape, our digital real estate, and really utilizing the different apps and the tools to advance us technology from even a Facebook group or something similar as that. And so I've been kicking the tire that I've been procrastinating this long, but this crisis has made not only me, but minority millennials and a lot of us really understand that if we don't tap into these digital opportunities, we might get left behind. We will become dinosaurs. We'll get stuck in a different era. And so today's conversation with Arvin is going to be about the opportunities, the many ones that are in this digital era. Arvin is a digital marketing entrepreneur with hands-on experience in building digital business assets. He's also the co-founder of MyMediaPal.com. It's a digital agency and information hub for digital marketing. He's a coach to many business owners and young entrepreneurs worldwide. So we have Arvin. Just want to welcome you and thank you for joining us for our first virtual value conversation.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. This is awesome.
No, and like I mentioned already, you've been somebody that's been telling me and coaching me for the last 2 years to start utilizing these virtual platforms, and I've been reluctant to because we do a pretty good job in real time, people to people. But God forbid, if a crisis like this that is happening or happens in the future, we still have to be able to help people, right?
Yeah.
We still have to be able to share valuable information, but we also, and our whole goal is to develop human capital skills, develop personal skills within the minority millennial demographic. And more than any other time, we realize that digital marketing absolutely matters in COVID-19 during this crisis. There's so many industries that are being hurt, from hospitality to barbershops to restaurants to servers to gyms. I was driving by LA Fitness the other day and it's completely empty. It's scary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like an I Am Legend movie.
Yeah. I see pictures of Times Square too. Like I see it on there's nobody there. It's rare to see that, Like Times Square completely dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because even with millennials, we are aware of the resources that are here, but I still do see a lot of us scrambling, including myself, to catch up. And so I think that's why this conversation is going to be extremely valuable to a lot of people across the country, not just Long Island, and what practical steps right now that they can do to ease some of their pain, ease some of the suffering, and also just make sure that they're relevant within their own personal brand, within their own
Mm-hmm.
family, and how can utilize this new skill sets to just even provide more value to your job, to your
Yeah.
boss, to your supervisor, to your
Mm-hmm.
community. So with that being said, I want to like just kind of give the platform to you to explain a little bit who you are, and then also give us some practical advice as to what's the best things to do and what are the actual opportunities in this digital era.
Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy because as we talk about this and I see what's going on today, I can relate to a lot of people because I went through job loss around like 5, 6 years ago, and I was let go from a really good job, and around that time, that's when I started like getting into digital marketing. I started building my media pal with my business partner James, and when I was let go, it was kind of like it was scary. I mean, I know how that feels. Like it was really scary because, I had 2 kids at that time. I have 3 now, but I was married, 2 kids. Um, the income was just gone, and like I had to like really figure out what to do. But luckily, I started working on something small, a small, business, which was our digital agency at that time with James, and it was supporting him, but it didn't have enough revenue coming in to support us. So, I mean, at that point, I kind of just had to go all in with it, right? Like started learning how to be of value to a business because that's what the whole goal was with the agency that we built was to give value to other businesses. So I learned how to build websites. I was self-taught, so we started offering that. Then I from there I started learning how to do online marketing, which is like SEO, and then eventually grew to paid ads. So pretty much like all those little skills that I've learned back then is what got me to a stable situation today. And it is scary, but that's why it's so important to learn the digital landscape and to learn any skill that can be of value to anything, right? Like you could have a job, but if you know a skill of navigating websites or creating emails or doing an email blast, you're a value to a company, right? So like it's just about that, and most importantly too, like in a stressful situation now that we're in, I think the worst thing people could do is to keep plugging into the negative news. Like it's good to be aware, but not too much where it's like taking over your mind and you're complaining and you're depressed, and it could lead to all sorts of things. So like that's important because being able to process the current situation of a loss of a job or income, you have to look at it like, okay, so what am I going to do? You can't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like right, that's why right now is the time, like focus on yourself, right? Like okay, you lost your job, are you happy with that job? Is that something that you want to do for the rest of your life? If not, then use this time to figure it out, right? Use this time to add to your skills, like learn something, So I mean, there's a lot. I think a lot of people could go into it now as far as right, like dealing with it, and there's a positive way to deal with something rather than being so consumed with negativity and joining the rest of the people that's complaining about what's going on. It's not really
Yeah.
gonna help. You
Yeah.
know what I mean by that?
Yeah. And so I guess, and that's like a lot of different nuances go on with that because in order to learn something, like explain a little bit like what we were talking about, just even the mental discipline that goes into learning in the school, because some of us may not be like, and this is including myself, because I'm horrible. Like I cannot develop websites. I'm horrible at trying to figure out SEO, and so I've had to figure out how to connect with those that can. How can I work with individuals or reach out to individuals that are knowledgeable in the skills? So just on real quick, talk about like the health and um, just the immune system and what the mental discipline is necessary to learn these new skills during this time.
Yeah. So I mean, like how I look at it, right, is for example, if you're in a stressful situation, if you're in a very stressful situation, and you're unhealthy, like health wise, right? It's a higher chance of you not knowing how to deal with the anxiety and depression, right? Because things are happening. The world is talking about this. You lost your job. Things are happening, so you're not able to internalize that and process it properly. But if you're healthy, if you have, if you're on a good diet, if you're taking care of yourself, you're exercising, just the basic things to be healthy, you'll be able
Yeah,
to process that, and then you're going to be able to think clear. And it's all about thinking clear, right? Like, I think I started learning that. I started putting a lot of work into that last year, where I started switching up what I ate, and the difference that I've gotten and clarity wise has helped. And with that said, that discipline is what's kind of needed when you start learning a new skill. Because think about it, the people that still have jobs that are working from home, you're at home now, so you have to be disciplined to go get stuff done. Otherwise, you're gonna get fired, right?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with running a business. When I first started, I was accountable, like with my business partner. So me and him were accountable to each other, to the point that, okay, I knew I had to get up at a certain time to get work done, and I couldn't stay up all night, just watching, movies and binging on shows and playing video games. I was accountable for my family. I was accountable for my business, and that was the behaviors that was needed for me to start learning something, and for me to start implementing things that's gonna help, my current situation of not having a job 5 years ago. And that kind of like doing it every day. Then I started getting rid of bad habits. I started realizing bad habits, and then learning more. And then over like the next 5 6 years, it just kind of like compounded to the point where I'm like on autopilot, that I know I have to be productive. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you got to ask yourself is, you know based on what you want to get done in this particular time of being productive in the state that we're in, how are you going to make your time most valuable every day?
yeah.
Right? What is it going to take for you to be able to do something to move the needle with your business, with your career, with your health, whatever it is? You got to start taking it seriously, because it's pretty crazy what's going on out there, especially everything that I hear from my friends and family out in New York.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely. I've never seen this before, and I asked a lot of people, have they ever witnessed something like this before? I've asked my grandparents, have they, no one's ever witnessed this before. So I think it's just a smack in the face of reality that if you're not in tune with how to utilize um, platforms in this digital era, and I think this is just this kind of ushered in the new era. This is it right here.
Yeah.
Like there's no more procrastinating. There's no more playing games. There's no more thinking that this is not going to happen. If we don't recognize and understand the skill sets necessary and the platforms that are going to be valued to us, millions of us are just going to get left behind. And
Yeah.
so, and again, I'm preaching to myself. These are platforms that I don't always use. I'm aware of them, but I'm more comfortable with doing things that I'm good at and comfortable in. And so, having mental discipline to learn these new skills is huge. And what about those that may just not be able to do it, like myself? Like, can you talk about some of the platforms that are out there, from things that we all know, but why is, like, for instance, right now, email marketing, like having a structured email campaign, why would that have been so valuable right now if
I mean,
somebody had that in place?
yeah. So that's collecting emails has been, it's kind of like, it's important with any online business, right? Even people that are in like brick and mortar businesses.
Yeah,
You notice if you go to like a store, some of them are collecting your emails. They're asking you to join, right? And why that's important is because you can communicate with your customers. That's the best way to communicate with your customers. Another thing is, I mean, there's a whole lot you could do with an email. You could take that email and load it up into Facebook and turn that into an audience, for example, and you could target them with an ad. So that falls into that. But most importantly is the communication with your customers. For example, a good example is like what's being closed right now, restaurants, right? So if restaurants are collecting emails, I've been getting emails from certain restaurants that I've either joined their Wi-Fi before, and tell me, hey, we deliver, or you could do takeout or whatever it is. So that's a way for them to communicate and still gain business in a situation like this where people aren't going in, but they could communicate with them. They could use social
Yeah.
media. There's so many ways that you could utilize an email list to communicate with your customers, and also doing more things in the future.
Yeah. We talked about briefly before, we were just connecting in general.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to people like how not only just the learning skill, but the opportunity to recreate yourself. So I want to kind of gear the conversation towards those that are, work within a corporation or work maybe within a government or work in
Yeah,
it could be even in retail. They work in hospitality. How can this be an opportunity for them to recreate themselves and recreate the value assets that they have to get ahead in what they're doing, to rise? This is an opportunity to rise to the top, rise to the occasion in
yeah.
your field of value and employership. So, what are some ways that people can recreate themselves at this time?
I think most importantly is, I think, learning about yourself and who you are, right? Like, I think looking inside and see, one, it's seeing how are you reacting to this current situation. Are you in a positive mindset, or are you complaining, right? And are you spending more time complaining than trying to be productive? You know what I mean? Like, I see that happening. I don't know how long, is it going to take for somebody to sit there and complain, but complaining is not going to get anything done, right? So recreating yourself, but that's the first thing is, okay, if you notice that, hey, I'm complaining way too much, why don't you take that energy that you're putting towards that and put it towards changing that, right?
Yeah,
And then improving that. And, like, we're home, everybody's home now. So you could spend more time with your family, number one. You could spend more time reading books. I listen to Audible all the time. So you could learn about that. You could invest time in your health. And then the last thing is, learn a skill that's going to make you valuable to your employees, to your employers, right? To the people that you work for. Maybe it's a good time for you to look for a better job, a more stable job, and build up your resume. Learn the essential skills, computer skills, to be valuable in a time like this, like learning how to use what we're using now, Zoom, for meetings, Skype, right? You have Google Drive. You could, using that to share files with your colleagues, email marketing, task management systems. I mean, CRMs. There's so many things that you could sit there and try to add value to the company that you work for, or to your own
yeah,
company, in order for you to be able to function in a state like this where everybody's home. And who knows what happens if this is the new norm, right? Like, where everybody could still work, but we don't know how long we're going to be home. So might as well spend some time being productive, learning something. Add value to
yeah.
the company. Oh, you gotta. I think you gotta mute that. Got it. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, this is again, I appreciate the time that you taken to just have this conversation. All of the platforms you just mentioned, we're gonna share in the comments as well, right?
Yeah.
Or and also in our Facebook group. So we're creating a minority millennial Facebook group. It will be private, but Arvin has all of the breakdowns of how to do this, from creating a website to even how to create this type of scene for your video conference. Can you explain to everyone what this is, how we're doing this right here, real quick?
Yeah. So this is Zoom. We're using Zoom to. I mean, what's this is. A lot of people are using Zoom now, because what's good is you could actually have virtual meetings and conference, and a lot of people could join, and it would be like this, face to face. So this is useful for, like, team meetings and getting
Yeah,
things done, right? As far as resources, we could talk about that. MyMediaPal.com, we write a lot about the stuff that works, that we've been implementing in our own businesses. So if you visit MyMediaPal.com, there's a course on there for people that want to learn how to build a website. It's free right now, and you should learn some value from there. Gain a skill of how to build a website, and then from there, that's where it starts, right? You need a website to start marketing, so you learn that skill, then you can start learning how to market the website. So that's all available, at mymediapal.com. And as far as what else were we talking about? Resources, right? Like where people could find building their brand. You're saying what were we talking about earlier?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like just in general, like how what are we're going to include that in the comments in the Facebook group,
Oh
and you
yeah,
have the access to help people with that.
yeah. So yeah, again, they could join us in the group. We'll put the link below, and this way we could just stick together and like help each other out. And I think that's the whole point, right? Like we got to support each other in this situation like this, and just give positive value and positive impact to the rest of the people out there. You know?
Yeah, we have to support our community, and I think that this is a time. That's the whole point of Minority Millennials. If it's nothing else, is to continue to share information and share value. We normally do that in person to person events and just trying to rally and mobilize people if it's to get out to vote or to have an impact on a certain type of policy or to get jobs or just to really build a lot of bridges for the minority millennial demographic here on Long Island and just across the country, honestly, in the future. But these are the things that we're going to be doing for this week. So this is the virtual value conversations. Again, I'm just very grateful that Arvin took his time out to talk with us. Tomorrow at 12 p.m., we're going to be talking with Sonia Williams, who is the founder, Sonia Lewis, who is the founder of the Student Loan Doctor LLC. We have been getting a lot of requests about student loans and whether or not it's smart to refinance, and just a lot of things that I don't know. And so we're going to get the experts to talk to you and talk to our community about what to do. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. noon, we're going to be doing the same setup with Sonia Lewis, and she's going to be talking about what to do with your student loans right now and what's fact or efficient. So please share that. We'll be dropping that flyer and event right after this conversation with Arvin. We also do have an opportunity right now. So we have a
Oh
partnership
yeah,
with
that's
Merrill
awesome.
Lynch Long Island, and it's a great opportunity. They're hiring right now. I'm not lying. This is not something that like we're just promoting just to promote. They are literally hiring right now, and they've implemented virtual interviews. So this is a very competitive salary. I'm not allowed in compliance to tell you what the salary is for this position, but it's very high. And they're working with us specifically because we know that we have great talent within our community. And we've already had a couple of virtual interviews, and they're going to be bringing those people to the next step in that interview process. So if you are interested in that position with Merrill Lynch, we're going to be sharing that link as well within the Facebook group. So please send us your resumes. And the last thing I do want to say before I give it back over to Arvin is just to be mindful right now, like when we started off, is our demographic, our age group is really getting affected by this. At first, it was called like the senior citizens virus, but in America, over 50% of those that are getting testing positive for this virus are ages 18 to 50. So we have to take this serious. People are dying, and we need to really do better in making sure that we just take responsibility and respect other people if we don't respect ourselves, because it can affect somebody. And just in my neighborhood alone, my community, we've already lost a very prominent pastor, and we're losing dear
Wow.
people within our community because of this. So this is not a time to joke. We got to take this serious and utilize these platforms. There's the whole point of this. There's opportunities right now in this era, and so definitely look at the resources that Auburn is going to be providing. Check out his website and his company as well as a lot of free information. That's mymediapal.com. And with that being said, I'll just let you close off on anything that you want to finish off with.
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you for having me, man. This is an awesome opportunity, and I appreciate it. And for the people out there, just try to hold it together, And again, this is a perfect time to really look at your life, recreate yourself, and come out stronger. I mean, that's the only way. You can't come out of this thing, upset and down. You gotta just get a hold of your mentality and make sure that you're being productive, right? Because I'm big on that. Like I put a lot of work in just trying to learn how to process certain things with having kids, family, um, being at home. I work from home. I've been working from home, so being able to process that, it's just a lot. And I think learning how to manage that stress and being productive at home, I think it's so important. And I think this is kind of like, it's a good time to reset and regenerate and renew yourself. And that's it. And just praying for everybody, man. I hope everybody's safe and healthy. That's it.
That's a big fact. Definitely praying for everyone and just staying safe and just listening.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not the time to not
Stay home, right? Stay home.
Yeah, seriously. All right, well, I appreciate it again, and we are pretty much at the capacity right now. So, just want to again wrap up tomorrow, 12 p.m. noon. Definitely join us. We're very excited to have Sonia Lewis going to be talking about what not to do with your student loans right now in this climate. And just again, thank you, Arvin, and check out all the links in our Facebook group. So please submit to the Facebook group. We'll have the link in this chat. We're going to drop the link right here, Arvin.
Yeah, the link is in the chat for the group, and then we'll put everything else in there in the group.
All right, awesome. I appreciate it, my brother.
All right, man.
Stay
Thank you.
safe out here.
All right.
All right, blessings.
Bye bye.